Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Time Men podcast. I am Past Man as Good Guy Pie, and Connor is.
I'm the future man. Enough said.
Enough said. Great. And today's topic of discussion is cosplay. Since me nor Connor have the most experience in this, we thought we'd bring on our first guest. Why don't you go and introduce yourself?
I'm Lifyeh Dragon, or aka Mary. Most of my friends just call me Mary, but Lifyeh Dragon's my username. But yeah, I cosplay a lot, and I really love it. It's super fun. And yeah, I'm glad you guys decided to ask me for this, because it's a fun topic.
How long have you been cosplaying for?
Oh, geez. Let's see. I think I really started cosplaying, like, I'm gonna say 2012, 2013. So yeah, I think I was like still in high school, and then starting to go into college. College when I started talking to Moon again, like reconnecting with Moon after high school. I really got back into it again through her, and then started going to conventions all weekend instead of just one day. Like I would go just one day with my dad and cosplay one outfit, and then I got hooked on going all weekend and doing multiple outfits.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's Jesus. That's quite a few.
Yeah, so it's been I've been cosplaying for like 10-ish years, 8 to 10 years, I'm gonna assume.
That's more than Connor's lifetime.
Oh, I'm old.
No.
I think it is, isn't it? Like,
I don't think
no,
so.
no, more than half his life. Sorry, not more than.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Jeez.
Sorry, you're not that young, Connor. Yeah, my podcast partner's 7 years old.
That would be concerning.
Be very concerning.
Really,
Right.
just gonna say I'm 7. I don't have to take this one.
No, you're not walking out on me. All right. Yes, moving on. Shall we? So, just because I like taking the veils off people, and I'm an egotist that I haven't heard my voice for the past few seconds. For those who are uninitiated, cosplay is the form of dressing up as a character or some sort of thing like that, I'm sure. Yeah. And, you know, some people take it to more extremes, be very extra with it. Others are sort of doing subtle stuff, and some people even roleplay, is it?
Well, yeah, because it's costume play.
Yeah.
Cosplay is just a short term for costume play. And sometimes, yeah, there are people who get really into it and almost kind of go into like a live action role play with it, but most of the time people just want to dress as the character, and you kind of gain sort of a newfound confidence when you get to be like one of your favorite characters.
Connor, let's just go around and ask some random questions to myself. And who would you, if you could do this costume, what would be the costume for you to aim for?
What? Sorry, that sentence was really weird to me. Can you rephrase that?
If you were to cosplay a character, which one would be the cosplay? Like your.
I've been wanting to cosplay Jotaro for a while, like Jotaro Kujo.
Yo. Do it. Just do it. I know JoJo cosplayers. I can ask their tips and tricks.
Oh, there you go, Connor. Dream is real.
Your dream can come true.
All right. So, then for those basic beginners, if you wanted to get into cosplay, what would be your first step?
Oh,
Yeah.
so honestly, just like for example, when I started out, like I had some sewing experience because I was fortunate enough to be taught by like my grandmother when I was young. But like honestly, you can go to the thrift store or like go online and because sometimes cosplay is really expensive just to buy straight off the bat, but there are pieces out there that are much cheaper, or you can go to the thrift store or even your own closet and just find similar pieces to a character. Like for example, I recently helped one of my TikTok mutuals. I know, cringe TikTok, but but like I met a lot of cool cosplayers on there, and we collaborate a lot, and it's really fun, and it really plays into the whole costume play. We get to recreate favorite scenes in our own style, in our own way. And for one, I have let me get it. He goes by like a nameless clown, I believe, or official nameless clown,
Honk.
on TikTok. But he asked me to be part of his Joker Christmas special recreation, and I was supposed to be one of the obscure Batman animated villains. And I just took one of my spare wigs that was closest to her hair, and then like I just rummaged through my closet and basically recreated her look. It's not a perfect replication of what she wears in the animated series, but like if you were to put us side by side, it would look pretty convincing. So that was fun. So like you can literally just go into your closet, see what you have, and just kind of put on. It's like similar to Disney bounding, where you kind of dress up like a Disney character but in casual clothes. So like you can start from your closet, and there's so many resources now. Like there's way more resources for cosplay now than there was when I was in high school. Like anime and cosplay were still kind of getting more introduced into the Western world. Like it's always been here, but like it was starting to gain its popularity into pop culture even more now. I mean, hell, there was like a really bad sci-fi show about cosplay on there. It was terrible, but like it's now got the recognition. Like local news stations will cover conventions that are in town. It's crazy how much it's exploded.
Oh, there you go. It has exploded, quote unquote.
Yeah, exploded in the past few years.
That's pretty
Cool.
pretty freaking cool. Yeah. How was it growing up with that sort of experience of seeing your hobby just turn into this amalgamation of popular culture?
Well, it's like again, like it's always been there, and like I mean, there's people who've been cosplaying for a lot longer than me. Like I've even seen like cosplays for like from the 80s that were a thing, and I was just like, oh wow, that's really cool. But it is very different. Like I've watched videos where people will talk about, hey, remember the days of the yaoi paddles and glomping, and I'm like, oh god, never again. Because we still want to make convention space safe, because there are people who advocate it to be a safer place, because there are people who ruin the fun, but that's like in every community, honestly.
Yeah.
But I will say conventions have gotten a lot safer than they were back in my high school and early college days, because it was crazy. People would just run up to each other and just like tackle each other. If you got a yaoi paddle, they'll just like go up and like smack you really hard on the bum with them, and it's just like, oh no. Yeah, it was bad, but like there were still good times too. Obviously, it's just that it was definitely a different time.
With different people, clearly.
Yeah, and there's also like different trends. Like back then, I think it was a lot of Homestuck cosplayers that were in big groups, and now it's huge, big groups of Danganronpa cosplayers and My Hero cosplayers. Like
Right.
you can kind of see the changing trends.
Just because I'm roughly aware of it, Connor, how aware of Homestuck are you?
I've heard of it.
That's that.
That's
So-
all you need to know about it.
Yeah. Okay. So from that glowing review of that fandom, we'll move on.
I will say I have a lot of friends who were into it, and they are the nicest people ever. It's just your fandom's scary, guys.
Oh man, I've heard a
Y'all
lot
used
of
to scare me in high
I've heard
school.
a lot of bad things about the fandom. Oh, well, the one thing I know is that apparently when the characters reproduce, they spit into a bucket.
What? Hold on. Where did you hear this?
I didn't know that.
I was watching like a review of Homestuck, like how it got blew up over the years, and then like a couple people at the conventions and all that. I've seen this. I've seen a video where like in order for the Homestuck people to reproduce, they spit into a bucket, and apparently people are spitting into buckets at conventions.
No.
Oh no, that sounds awful.
Actually, you can get Homestuck at the bookstore now. It's like published.
Okay, so what?
Wow.
Okay, so hold on. Whose intended audience is Homestuck?
I just remember it was a thing in high school, so I think it was a high schooler thing.
A lot of
That would probably be another podcast for you guys. Is like we need to find a Homestuck or someone who was in Homestuck and just interview them.
We
'Cause
need
I
to
do
find
have
someone.
friends.
You know,
Yeah, I
put
have
us in
friends
contact.
who were
Yeah.
the fandom.
Put us in contact with some fandom friends.
it was a series I wanted to get into, but like I can't find it anywhere.
Well, you can. I saw it at Books a Million.
Oh dear. Oh well.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do our research, I think, and bring someone on for that.
Yeah.
Also, fun little story about Homestuck. So
Oh.
at one of the conventions I went to, I don't think I was there that year, or if I was, it was probably one of the years I only went for a day and mostly just kind of spent in the convention center. Like I never went to like any of the hotels or anything. But apparently a lot of Homestuckers decided to go to a pool party in the convention hotel. And they're covered in gray face paint. And
that's another issue I've heard of.
yeah, they
really like their
turn the
paint.
water gray, but like not all. I don't want to like bash them too hard because they get bashed a lot on the internet. But I think there was some things that they've contributed to the cosplay community, like better ways to like dye wig. I don't think it was dyeing wigs, but like basically the cosplay community as a whole, when we share each other's like hacks and stuff, sometimes it starts within like one community or of cosplayers, and then like it expands out. Like for example, like I showed you Pi. I have never seen like I've only seen really good Borderlands cosplays. Like
Yes.
they always look so good with the sketchy look that they do to their face and their clothing and hair. Like it boggles my mind on how they do it.
Yes, Connor. If you have Connor, I guarantee you, look up any Borderlands cosplayer. It's ridiculous. Even like
All of them are good. All of them are really good.
even the low quality ones, quote unquote, are good.
Yeah, and also like that's also what's great with cosplay is like you don't really need it to be a absolutely amazing outfit. Like you shouldn't feel that if people are making it feel like you should have had a better cosplay, then they're terrible people. Like you should just enjoy what you're wearing, and it doesn't matter like what your price point is, what your budget is. If you want to put less money into it but you still want to look cool and feel great, that's more power to you. I literally made a cherry bomb from Has-Been Hotel from a bit oversized red t-shirt and some black leggings from a local thrift store here, and I maybe paid like $10.
There you go.
And then
really
just for
nice.
the outfit, and then like I went on Amazon and got a fairly cheap wig, and it was originally curly because I just needed one with a ponytail, and this one came with two and it was curly, so I just decided to take a straightener, just straighten it out so it'd look more like her hair.
So with that then, like you just, I guess there's a lot of you said sort of hacks, so I'm assuming there's many shortcuts, quote unquote, or things that cosplayers do that don't necessarily would jump into someone's mind when they hear about making a costume.
Like what I mean is like by hacks and stuff, or just like tips and tricks. There's like many cosplayers who will share their way of making something. Because that's one of my favorite things about cosplay is like looking at an interesting video game character or an anime character with an interesting outfit and trying to figure out how I would reconstruct that in the real world. And it's really interesting trying to break down each piece. And for example, I liked like if someone were to ask me how the heck I kept my Pyrrha armor from Ruby's the thigh armor up, because she has nothing attaching the thigh armor to anything, it just kind of sits there on her thighs. And
Quality character design.
I know, right? But what I did was I took like it's better if you get thicker stockings, but I kept getting cheap stockings for last minute because don't be like me and get last minute. Get some quality of life stuff. But I would take pantyhose or like thick leggings that are skin toned, and then I sewed on a snap, and then I put the other side of the snap on my foam armor. And also I used foam because foam is very lightweight, and also it's really easy to start off with when you're making like armor props, because it's flexible, it's cheap, it's a lot, like you get a huge roll at Michael's for like, what is it, $8? I don't remember the exact price, but I remember getting that stuff and it lasts you a while, and it's a lot cheaper than trying to do Warbler. Plus like Warbler is like super pricey. It looks nice, but I also heard like if you live in like states like I do where it's super hot, I live in Florida, so it's super hot, it will start melting in the sun.
Oh.
And you don't want that. So like, oh yeah, we were talking about hacks and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, the hacks, like I would just like snap it to my pantyhose, and then that's how my thigh armor stays up. And then my calf armor just kind of sits in my shoe and it's fine, and it just fits to my calf.
There you go. There's a lot of things that I assume your general outgo or little babby cosplayer wouldn't think about. Just
yeah. It's just like hard to think. It's like, oh no, like in what context? Like,
yeah.
When I built props with my dad, and I built like the soul scythe from Soul Eater, and we went to like 5 trips to Lowe's. We got like a curtain rod, like a wooden curtain rod, a PVC pipe, and then we got 5-pound tape, and then 2 door hinges on top of wood. It's heavy to carry around for but it looks really good.
I believe I've seen it. Yes, it looks really good.
Yeah, it needs a new paint job, but like I do want to like bring it back to a convention. That's also another thing about conventions. When those start back up again, make sure your props are within their guidelines. It's why I like going for cardboard and wooden props. Don't steer away from any metal. And make sure you always go to weapon check.
Just for those, and probably myself in this case, what is a weapon check?
Alright, so if you're new to conventions, when you go to, for example, one of my local cons that I go to a lot, in order to walk around the convention space, you have to go near registration. There's usually a booth, and they will check your weapon. It's kind of like registering your prop, because it's not just like maybe not just a wooden sword that you bring in, but it could be like a Nerf gun. It could be like it could honestly just be like a really interesting piece that you want checked, and you can put a sticker on it with the number, and then, or in other conventions they'll just put a zip tie on it saying it's checked, it's fine. I went up to weapon check with my Bendy and the Ink Machine Allison knife, and it was just made out of 2 things of cardboard, but I still, because it looks like a weapon, I had to get it checked. But I had like also heard like little like the little crowbar, the little like wrench and stuff, but they said that was fine. It doesn't need to be checked. I was like, okay, cool.
There you go.
So like always just make sure and check with people at the convention space what's okay to carry around.
Yeah. So I guess
Just be smart. Don't be dumb. Use your brain cells.
there you go. Yeah. Partner.
Ah.
Yeah. They're not.
But I have a brain cell.
No, it's trapped in a cell, Connor.
Oh no.
So, yeah, just getting into conventions, I guess.
Yeah, it does. Cosplay tends to bleed over into conventions. It's not
Yes.
always at conventions.
But since it's been brought up so much, we should probably talk about them. A convention, from my knowledge, Mary may be able to add on to this, or even Connor if he knows something I don't. Is essentially a giant gathering of people who either share a fandom or share an interest in something, and like people can sell artwork, get together, it's like a small parties and stuff like that get thrown about. And
Small parties, meanwhile, they're conventions with full-on raves.
okay, maybe full-on raves as well. I've been to like a few things like Comic-Con and stuff like that, but I've never been to like.
Yeah, Comic-Con's a good example.
Yeah.
That one's definitely centered around comics.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, stuff like that, I guess. So let's say our friend Little Billy here, he wants to go off and get into a convention. What's the process for that?
Well, so definitely, I guess you just type in your area and just type in like either comic or anime conventions, cosplay conventions, because there's conventions for like a lot of things. Like if you ever went to like, for example, the city of Orlando, I remember driving through there and there were like advertisements for conventions I never even heard of. Or like, and there was like one where like the actors from Stranger Things were showing up, and I was like, what? It was like some Monster Con or something like that. So like, honestly, just type in conventions in your area, and then you can also find usually conventions on Facebook and find their Facebook groups, and that's a good way to keep updated on their events, and what they do and what's going on, because two of my main conventions I go to, I was in their Facebook groups, and it has good updates on the events they're doing, or for like if things get delayed or stuff like that, keeping things updated and policy wise. And so that's I definitely just start Googling things. I mostly found out about conventions through friends, because I had friends go, and then I was like, that sounds like fun, and then I followed them there. So, yeah. I definitely just start finding communities online, I guess would be one as well. Find recommendations.
Right. So, you found the convention you want to go to, and you're all dressed up. What sort of rulings? I guess we've been over the weapon checks, but is there any other big rulings that are not you've seen sort of are common between conventions? Like like general sort of safety or stuff that people should just like keep their heads up about.
Okay, well, usually all conventions have like kind of a set of rules that they'll have marked on their website, so that's always good to check their website on their guidelines, what they allow, etc., etc. Because, for example, one of my favorite ones, Holiday Matsuri, they're more family friendly and child friendly during the day, but like they do have an after hours night where they have more 18 plus panels. So that is something to like, read the rules of if you are over 18, and if you're under 18, just like kind of stay away from that space. But also be aware that that does happen, that there will be more adult spaces and conventions, but there are still very family friendly, kid friendly conventions, especially during the days. You just, again, 100% recommending looking at the hotels, not hotels, the conventions guidelines, and they will usually have pamphlets when you go to a convention that will have, like, you know, panel scheduling and other event scheduling and anything else you need to know. And if you also still have more questions, usually you can like go up to like a convention staff member and ask them anything.
I'm assuming that they look pretty friendly. Staff members.
Most of the time.
You ever ran into a very scary staff member?
Actually, not really. One of my local conventions, MetroCon, they have actually their own security team called the Brute Squad, and they're all these like kind of big, burly looking men, but they kind of look like the burly men that are approachable because they all wear kilts and red shirts. Oh, they're great. I love them. But usually, like they have their own security, but it also depends on what venue the convention's held at. They will sometimes, like for example, the Tampa Bay Convention Center people. You get hit or miss people who work for the convention center. Sometimes they're a little meaner, but other times they're really nice and really excited to see cosplayers. So usually, though, the convention staff for the convention are normally very nice and want to help you out.
Yeah. Alright. So you haven't heard any Scottish music playing as someone's getting thrown out the building, then?
No.
That is a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah, they're like those like cool like dark black kilts with like maybe some belts on the side.
So they don't just hire an army of Scottishmen. That is a shame.
No. No, they should, but they're still great.
Okay, so so you brought panels. What in the Blue Blaze is a panel at a convention?
So, fun thing about panels is that anyone can sign up for a panel. Panels can be almost anything. They could be a panel about like, I don't know, cosplay tips. There was a panel about like certain things in the community, like for those who are in the like in different communities, and like I think there's also panels where there's game panels. That's the ones that Moon and I like to do a lot, where we host game panels. And then there's a lot of panels that tend to pop up where people like to dress as characters and then do a quote-unquote Q&A with the characters. I personally hate this form. Like, at first it's fine, but the amount of people who do it, it's just like so much, and it gets stale really fast. But that's my personal opinion. If you do Q&As, more power to you. It's just I've had too many bad experiences with Q&As. But there's other panels such as like competitions, there's lip sync contests, there's more games, there's watching animes. Like they'll have panel rooms dedicated to just having anime playing. They also have arcade rooms, and then you can like go online before the convention starts, like months ahead, sign up for a panel. Another panel I like to do is we do something called Beacon Ball, which is Ruby related. And there's a bunch of Ruby nerds getting together and recreating the Beacon Ball, where we just dance and have fun, maybe play a couple games.
There you go. That sounds great. I'm one of the Piras, and like there's obviously other Piras showing up, but like, and other like multiple characters, but we still interact with each other in character, and it's fun. And I love going to other Piras. Like, yes, we shall combine, and then we'll bring back ourselves alive again. Pyrrha will be alive. So the multiple dust particles of Pyrrhas are slowly conjugating to become a character.
Yes, and I just love seeing like all the different versions that people come up with, because my dress doesn't look accurate to the show, sometimes. Like sometimes I'll wear like a sparkly red dress there, or like I've seen other people in like different dresses than what's canon,
Hmm.
and they just look super cute, and I love it. I love seeing the different takes. It's so pretty. I remember once we had a Beacon Go Ball where we had this whole subplot of how like the dimensions broken. That's why there's so many duplicates, and it was completely improv. We were just running around doing improv bits. There's one where Moon was my Nora, and she took my hair clip ponytail off, so I just had short hair, and she took it, and she's just like pretending to be Pierre, going, I'm sorry," and I'm like, "Give that back, Nora." So like, it's really cool what you can do in these panels because you can almost do anything.
Hmm.
You can do competitions, you can do games, trivia, tutorials. Not tutorials, like a little class. Like I remember one year I wanted to go to it, but it clashed with something that I signed up for ahead of time. But it was like kind of like a brushing like Japanese painting class or something where you like do the traditional like painting and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I would love to do that. That sounds like fun. I want to paint.
That sounds very cool.
Yeah. So it's really cool how the community gets together and kind of makes the convention events almost, is what panels are. I know that was a long-winded explanation, but I have so many stories of panels.
We've got an hour to fill, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you heard it here first. Time Men podcast coming to a convention near you.
Yeah.
So Connor, any comments on that one?
Yeah, so we know what we can do at these things. What can you not do at the panels?
Okay, for one thing and this is a big thing that the cosplay community will say all the time. Cosplay is not consent. Do not touch cosplayers. They're not the real characters. I hate to break it to you. We are not your waifus. We are not your villains. Do not touch us. That is inappropriate. You can come up and kindly ask for a picture. If you want to do a certain pose, you ask. And if it is an inappropriate pose, we will straight up say no. And no is an answer that you should take.
Oh, there you go.
I'm being very clear. Moon on her channel has gone through her cosplay experiences that were big yikes. Because she cosplays Cinder because she just likes Cinder's aesthetic, and it's just fun walking around as the villain and one of the heroes that dies by that villain. And she gets like harassed. She's gotten a death threat. She's gotten stabbed in the back by a prop sword by John. It's not okay.
Oh.
And I've once almost bit off the head of a creepy photographer, not figuratively. Normally people are like, oh, Mary isn't like she's a sweetie, blah blah blah, and then I meet a creepy photographer and I just switch. And I'm like, get the fuck away. Like one time there's a creepy photographer and I remember seeing on the Facebook group page that I talked about earlier, talking about this photographer going around trying to take pictures of cosplayers who were just sleeping.
That's
like there was a cosplayer
yeah.
resting on the side, and luckily she was not alone, but he was still being creepy, and I saw him on the outside, wore the same exact outfit I saw in the picture, because there was a kind of crappy picture of him online. And he just was trying to take pictures of me while I was adjusting my wig while I was with our photographer. And that's just also straight up rude. And it's just like, I was like, hey, you just ask. Don't take a candid picture of me fixing my wig. So like, I just went off on him. And there was another creepy photographer who wanted Moon to raise her hands because we were both cosplaying from the same thing. We were both like cute anime girls. And her outfit had some major side boob. And so he was like, hey, can you raise your arms? And she she basically did it without showing anything. And I just was like standing by, like ready to like kick him. I was like, I swear, it's cosplay is not consent. Also, don't bring real weapons, obviously.
Right.
Read the guidelines of what you can and cannot bring. Don't comment nasty things towards people.
Man, and I got this
Don't.
real life neck for nothing. Great.
Definitely don't break the rules of the venue, because the venue might have a separate set of rules that we don't know about or something. But like, just be a decent human being, basically. I think just the biggest one is don't touch people.
There you go.
Respect boundaries. And like, just respect boundaries. Don't be weird.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, be weird, but don't be weird in like a harmful way. You're already a bunch of weirdos. You're running around in costumes.
Yeah, and also like, don't force roleplay onto people. It'll get cringy real fast. Like, if you want to like lightly be in character, don't go 100% full on LARP, because it'll just be. Just make sure the other person's okay with it. If you're doing like playful banter back and forth, then you're both okay with it. That's fine. But you guys know Brandon.
Brandon's another monster.
My lovely friend Brandon. Follow him on Brandon.jpeg.
No. Plug him. He's a great man.
He's great. Yeah, plug him. Brandon.jpeg on Twitch. But he was cosplaying one of the Spider-Man. Yeah, I think it was one of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I forgot. I'm sorry. He really. I haven't seen him in a while in cosplay, so I forgot which one. But he's in his Spider-Man suit thing, and this guy comes up to him. He's in a Dragon Ball Z shirt, and he's just wearing like a amalgamation of different anime merch, and he goes, "Peter, it's me, Tony Stark. I was reincarnated into a Batman's body. We gotta." I don't know what else he said, but Brandon just stood there like, what? And then he looked at his friend like, help me. He's like, okay, man, sounds good. I'm going to walk this way.
Oh,
poor Brandon.
Left to hang out dry. Oh. Brandon, we love you, man. Jeez. So yeah, don't be cringy as well. I mean, I've got some LARP stories for you though. If you talk about LARP.
Some what stories?
LARPing. That was a hobby of mine once upon a time.
Yeah, it's just just like, again, it boils down to just be a respectful human being. You can still have fun and be a little crazy, because we're all a little crazy, but like, don't cross lines.
Very, very much so. That's a good message just to hammer home, I think. So,
respect people.
Yes. Right. Let's boogie on to another subject.
Okay.
Let's talk about your favorite cosplays you've done.
Oh, okay. I have quite a few.
We've got time.
Okay, I know. So I guess one of my top ones, which I actually got a little more well known for, because like I wore it multiple years. Slightly tired of wearing it, but I still love it to this day. I love cosplaying Pyrrha from Ruby so much. I am so attached to her. And I've remade her outfit like 2 or 3 times. I made the full outfit twice. I've fixed up her armor maybe like 3 times. And I bought the wig. I brought a new wig second time. And then I have like not only her main outfit, but I also have her beacon ball outfit. And then I did a fan art version by Dishwasher 1910, I believe, the 3.0 series. I cosplayed her 3.0 version. The only thing I wish I did was had time to make her rifle, because that would have been really cool. I've completed the whole thing. But I was really proud of that one too. The wig still could have used work, but it was doing that springy thing where every time you cut the bangs, it wouldn't fall like regular hair. The synthetic hair would just go straight and looked really blunt cut. And I was just like, that's not what I want. She's supposed to have full, luscious bangs, but oh well.
You're a big fan of a character that got so much screen time, right?
I know, right? I just love characters who get so much screen time. Another character I was really proud of, and I recently brought up the picture again for it when I was just kind of while building this, I was like, this is gonna look like absolute garbage. I am in finals week right now. Hallmat is just around the corner. I'm screwed. And it was my Bendy and the Ink Machine Alice and Angel cosplay. And I was still excited for it because I love Bendy and the Ink Machine. It's really cool. It has a very distinct character design. And I was like, oh, this is not going to look that great. The belts are all messy. I made the prop sword the night before the convention. I was finishing painting it the night before I had to go to the convention center. But once I put it on all together, like I put on all the body paint, I put on the wig, I put on the makeup, I put on the outfit, I looked like I hopped out of the game. And like everyone was like, you look like just like her. And I was just like, I can't believe I pulled it off. So that's why I really like that one, because I'm just proud of how well I was able to translate it from the video game. And I made it from scratch too. Like the builds were even made from scratch, and I even though they suck, like they're really bad.
Not according to everyone else.
Yeah, but like it kind of worked because it is kind of like I'm a video game character. Like the belts kind of looked weird in the game too, so. I was really proud of that one.
Yeah. So body paint, you just fill up a bathtub with like paint, right? You just jump in there?
No. No. I think that's actually what Homestuckers did.
Oh god.
But
oh, that must be a pain to clean.
Yeah. But what I did, because she only had body paint on her arms and hands, and I should have brought black gloves so I could take off the gloves and, pick up stuff. But no, I didn't have time to buy gloves, so I was like, yeah, I'll just paint my entire hand and not touch anything. I didn't have like really good sealer spray because it was a water activated body paint. It still looked good, and I managed to get it all on. But we used a mix of one of the makeup sealers from my friend, and then I used my Got2b hairspray, which is a really good hairspray for wig styling. Almost every cosplayer I know uses Got2b brand, and I just sprayed that on top as well because I was like, well, it's kind of like a sealant, and I was like, it's hairspray, it's not gonna hurt my skin because you kind of spray it towards your face anyway. And I was fine. Obviously, I was still careful not touching anything, especially when we're in the vendor space.
Hands in your pocket.
Like I saw in a long time, they saw me and they're like, Mary, and they wanted to go hug me, and I was like holding up my hands like, I think that's a bad idea.
No. Splat. So I imagine eating during that was a bit like.
Yeah, I mean my lipstick was a little smeary, and I have like a selfie of me like drinking from a Starbucks cup. But like I had my lipstick with me in my bag, and I just like reapplied it. It was all good. It was all Gucci.
Wonderful. There you go.
Yeah.
Be prepared, apparently.
be prepared.
No, we don't do that.
We
Oh.
can't do that here.
We can't. The algorithm will murder us.
Disney
Oh,
will
sorry
murder
about
us.
that.
Oh, you're right.
Disney.
Yes, Disney will come for us. I
Oh
think
no.
that's actually a nice good plot point. There's a lot of Disney cosplays out there, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I've technically done one.
Oh,
Yeah. I did Lady and the Tramp with me and my fiance. And it was more casual. Obviously, we're human versions, not dressed up like dogs. But I managed. Also, what's nice is that Andrew, my fiance, he has a 3D printer, and I asked him like, "Hey, can you just 3D print the dog pendant collar things, and I'll just add them to some ribbon?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure," and we did, and it came out really nice. And then I kind of made us look more. We're not probably accurate to the time period, but we have like the general silhouettes of that time period of Lady and the Tramp.
mm.
So like I wore like a nice goldish blouse with brown skirt that was really long, some nice like little boots, and then I had her collar, and then I had Andrew in slacks, a button-up shirt, some suspenders, and then one of those like newsboy hats. And it looked good, and it was actually pretty easy to put together.
Super glad to hear that you are comparing your fiance and got him to dress up as a tramp.
Yeah, from Lady and the Tramp.
Yes.
And then Moon was talking about how she should be oh gosh, I blanked out on her name, but the other dog who sings "He's a Tramp" in the Dog Pound.
Sure.
She has like the droopy purple eyes.
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
And I was like, do it.
So is that how you get like most of your ideas? Either it's an offhand comment or it's just a character you really like?
Yeah, and actually the Lady and the Tramp thing was actually Moon was like, please, guys, can you do me a favor and I will die happy? Can you please cosplay a Lady and the Tramp? We actually have another technically Disney cosplay that we wanted to do. It got put on pause for obvious reasons.
Nah, I have no clue of what current affairs could be stopping any of this.
I know, right?
But
we're gonna be Jack and Sally, and I have the beginnings of it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we're gonna try Jack and Sally, and I still have the stuff like we got like some of the fabric patterns, and like I even got like leggings, so I don't have to face paint my legs. It's really nice when Spirit Halloween comes around, and I just go in and collect little things here and there. Let's see, what else did we? I think that's all for Disney cosplays, yeah.
Right.
That I've done, but like the Disney cosplay community is pretty popular.
Okay, so we know your Pyrrha. Here's with your second favorite.
Second favorite? Gosh. It's hard to pinpoint my second favorite.
Make him a tie.
Allison. I do love my Akali, but like the jacket looks like absolute butt. I think my Atelier Swell cosplay. Moon and I we do a lot of cosplay competitions together, and we like this game series called the Atelier series. That's a whole nother rant why I love / hate that series. They just have really cute characters, and that's all I'm going to go into. But they have some interesting games, and it was the newest game coming out, so we were like, oh, they're a pair of twins, alchemist twins, and they're really cute. So they have very complicated outfits because they're kind of strange on how they're designed. They're not like normal clothing in any aspect. But I was just really proud the amount of detail I was able to put into it. And we actually managed to get an award for that competition. We got like we didn't get like a super fancy award, but we did get a award. It was like one of those like judges award, I believe. Actually, I have one of the medals. I can figure out which one it is.
Look, I'm still riding a high of getting an award in school. I think.
Yeah, like we were still like shocked that we got it, but I think it was either I think it was the Gatekeeper's Medal of Honor or the Cosplay Excellence that we got.
The Medal of Honor sounds really bad. I was like, you got injured as you were doing it.
Yeah, because like there's no first, second, or third place at like competitions, or at least the ones I've been to. They'll have like kind of like a judges award or like, you know, cosplay excellence award, where it's more of a like this was a really cool cosplay, it deserves something.
Yeah.
And then they have like amateur and novice kind of awards, and then they have more specific ones like groups, best group, best technical, or like they have categories. And then best in show is like the kind of like the first place, but that's the best overall. And what's really interesting, like if you have like a more like, it doesn't always have to be a super complex cosplay that wins best in show. One of the last MetroCons I went to, best in show went to one of these, I don't know what she was cosplaying from, sadly, but she had a really cute outfit. It had like a crop top and then like like kind of a poofy-ish skirt, sparkle skirt. And the reason she got best in show was because her seam work was seamless. Like her sewing, like the judges were like, you may not think this might be best in show, but if you look at the details, you can't tell that she hand sewed this or like stuff like that. Like she put so much, like it was like flawless. It was a flawless cosplay. And that's why it won best in show, and I think it well deserved it. So it's like, you don't always have to have the most extravagant costume. You don't have to have the most like complicated one. You can just have like the most cleanest work, and the judges will think that is like the coolest thing ever. It also just depends on where you go and what judges you have.
I'll be honest though, if someone rocks up in a fully functioning Eva from Eva Gallagher, they're winning. Not because it's great or anything. I'd just be terrified.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us would be terrified.
Tyler, any questions and stuff? We're nearing that hour mark.
Oh, jeez, I had one. I completely forgot.
Come on.
Oh no.
Right there.
It is right there, but I can't remember what it was. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We'll buy you some time with one more question for Mary. Favorite story? Okay. Was like the funniest thing, or just like the most wholesome or interesting thing that's come out from all this?
Oh man. Watch, I'm gonna think of a better story later. I'm just like scrolling through my like Instagram, like just like looking back at my cosplays right now. But I think most of my favorite convention memories, just like in general, mostly come from being in the hotel room. Like, I know that's like kind of sad, but like I just miss my friends so much that like I love when we get together and we get our costumes on. And then just like another great memory is like getting stopped by complete random people and just being like, "Oh my gosh, I love your cosplay. Can I take your picture?" And it just makes my day. Oh, okay, here's a good story.
Oh, all right.
This wasn't actually at a convention. This was at a Renaissance fair right before this year's crap hit the fan. I went as a female casual version of Geralt of Rivia because the new Netflix series had just come out and I really enjoyed it. And I was just like, you know what? I can come up with a last minute outfit. Let's do it. I actually had people tossing coins to me.
There you
I
go.
got like an actual dollar coin. Then I got like this fake pirate coin, and then I got like another like siren like medieval fair kind of coin, and I was just like, this is so cool. And then I was like, every Renaissance fair I go to, and if I'm Geralt, I'm just gonna see how many coins I collect.
You're gonna need a partner there to sing the song for you.
Oh yeah, I did have a
Oh.
Yaskier,
You have a Yasket? Oh, that's amazing.
and she knows how to play a lute.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yep, it was great because she also was wearing like sunglasses, like these very fashionable sunglasses, and we were just walking around chilling. Hold on 1 second.
All right, Connor, have you thought of that question?
I remember the question.
Oh, fantastic.
What's the question?
All right, so I usually hear you and Moon like preparing for cosplays like months in advance. How long does it usually take you guys to prepare your costumes?
That's a song.
Okay, so it honestly depends on the costume. Obviously, also depends on like for example, if we're starting from scratch, then yeah, it's gonna take probably months to complete. And then you don't want to be like us who will like last minute add like another costume weeks before the convention trying to like throw it together. Trying to think. I'm going to say it takes me up to like a month or two if I were to actually add up the hours. But like obviously we do it months in advance cuz not every day is dedicated to sewing or making our cosplays. And also there's also the wait times of getting things shipped in from like Amazon or whatever website we're using to grab stuff from, accessories, makeup, wigs. And then there's like wig styling, there's sewing, there's crafting. I'm gonna say like for me on average takes up like a couple months at most.
Yeah. Takes
I
time.
have that bad habit of procrastinating and then like, you know,
Who doesn't?
doing that crunch, the con crunch.
Oh, we got big old crunches as well. So there you go. Few months.
Yup.
First procrastination time. Always important.
Yep.
All right. I
Very
think
important variable. there.
very very important. I think we're nearing the end of our time here today. So any final comments we've got?
Which one would you rather prefer people using, like websites or making their own cosplays?
Honestly, whatever you're comfortable with, because not everyone wants to like, you know, make things from scratch. And there's also the option of commissioning people to make your costume if you want like something good quality and also to support an artist or anything. But there's no shame in just going on Amazon and buying a cute maid outfit and then just wearing a wig and calling it a day. Like, wear what you want.
There you go.
And wear what you're comfortable with. And if price is an issue, then yeah, I would definitely just turn to the thrift store in your closet.
There you go. No judgment here.
Yeah, like if people do judge you, then they're not good people. Don't listen to them.
And Mary, if anyone wants to find any of your cosplays that may have been posted,
Oh, definitely my Instagram is where I post most of them. Which is Lifyeh Dragon, so Lifyeh Dragon. That's usually where you'll find me on any social media platform. I also do a lot of cosplay TikToks, so you can follow me on TikTok as well for cosplay content. I've come up with like random, like last minute, like cosplay costumes from my closet there too, or like I'll put on some, like I've upgraded my Catwoman on there, and I've done some new Catwoman content. Got some pure content. I got all sorts of content on there. I have my Daniela from Game Gaidu.
My personal favorite.
Yeah, I love being Daniela because she gives me so much confidence. I think she's like my most quote unquote sexy cosplay because like I tend to just do like I just do characters I like, but like I haven't done anything with that much skin revealing. But like
Yeah.
it's just because like, you know, I'm basically dressing up as like Danny from Game Grumps. I just have this like thing of confidence because I'm like, he's such a cool dude.
Yeah, I think you've absolutely nailed that cosplay. It's just like you can put the pictures side by side and it's just spot on.
Oh, thanks. I feel like I need to upgrade my jacket, but I got that jacket from a thrift store and like kind of just edited it. I fixed it up to look like more closer to the jacket.
Yeah, and yeah, that's fantastic. And I think on those notes, we'll bring this podcast to an end. So just finish this off with a single sentence, I guess, from everyone. Don't jump.
Cosplay is cool.
Cosplay's cool.
Well, thanks for having me on. Cosplay is really fun, and I miss conventions. Hopefully, we'll get to do that again soon.
Yes, and from me to everyone who has listened to or just may even skip to the end, thank you for listening. And this has been the Time Men podcast with your hosts Past Man and Future Man, and our guest Lifyeh Dragon, aka Mary. We shall see you in the next one.